Okej, tack så jättemycket Ina som fick träffa dig Nine alltså, och en riktig dar när det gäller att kommentera e-sport. Vi ska ta och titta lite närmare på just det här med e-sport, för den stora frågan är, vad är det egentligen?
I år har Counterstrike 100 000 kronor i prispengar och Street Fighter-finalen, ja, där får man 30 000 kronor. Men min dröm, det är att få tävla med den här på en scen. Men kan man verkligen göra e-sportstävlingar av alla spel? Vi har tagit fram ett random-spel för att se om det går att tävla i allting. Prispengar, 50 norska.
Jag ska göra Water Tower och de här armarna.
5, 4, 3, 2, kör! Go, go, go! Och en stor traktor har vi här, den gröna högra. Och de ska alltså resa balar. Det går långsamt, men det går. En näck här, fast vänster som leder nu med en bal. Ser vem ska gå, och han bytte vinkel inifrån traktorn. Det är en klassisk teknik som användes först 1997 av den regerande världsmästaren. Och han kan aldrig veta vad som kommer att hända. Det är ytterst spännande. Det här är ju VM i Farm Simulator 2011. Ja, men han kör för fort. Han åker ner i sjön. Nej, han undviker sjön på den absoluta hårstrål. Och det är inte alls lätt här. Och nu så är högspelarna här, laddar sig upp. Och
det verkar som att vi har skapat lite tävling här. Men om det inte hade varit för Mattias här, kommentator, kameraman och de här 50 norska kronorna i prispengar. Vi säger att du vann här. Har det verkligen blivit någon tävling då? Vad säger ni?
Ja, det är väl frågan om det hade blivit någon tävling det där. Men vi ska ta och hålla oss kvar vid det här ämnet alltså. Kan man tävla i allting i e-sport? Det är den stora frågan. Vi har bjudit hit 2 stycken gäster. Vi har Fredrik Slope Wahlstedt som är populär med den egna showen, The Slope Show. Som har väldigt många som tittar på dig.
Ja.
Och så har vi också fått hit Julia Christophers från ESL som är den största företaget inom just e-sport. Very welcome. Can everything be called e-sports?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think there has to be, for me, I think it has to be fairly simple and clear what they are actually doing in this game. I mean, watching this thing, I wasn't really focused too much on it, but I wasn't really sure what they were trying to do. And it has to be kind of, you know, simple, not too much. It's like StarCraft, like we were watching here day 9 before. It's a very good game. I've never really been into the RTS too much, but you have to really understand what's going on, and you can kind of do it. It's simple to understand that game. That's why this is probably the first game that I'm starting to like, because I can understand what's going on. And for myself, Counter-Strike, it's fairly simple. You eliminate the other team, or you either, well, I don't shouldn't go into the actual rules of Counter-Strike. If you don't know them, you don't know them, but it's fairly easy to explain to the average viewer. So I think that's a very important part in what game is esport and what is not.
Do you agree?
I agree. An esports game should be a viewable game that you can show in front of the audience, or that somebody can watch at home, like your casting games, and then they can watch them. But at the same time, there should be a million ways to win, to make it interesting. If it's just easy to play the game and be the winner, then it cannot be sports. It has to be something that you have to train for alone or in the team. And that makes the audience sit there and say, I want to be able to do it, and it's such a long way. And then they're sitting at home and they're trying to be just as good as their role models in the game that they're watching. And maybe one day they get there, or they remain on this level where they just try to get there.
But who do you think should decide what's to be called the e-sport game and what's not?
I think it's for any sport, it's the fan base. If there's no fan base for the sport, there's no, you know, if nobody want to watch the sport, if nobody plays the game, then there can't be anybody interested in watching it. So I think it's the audience that plays the game, the people who want to see the better ones play and learn from them and stuff like that.
A very good example for this is FIFA, because in Europe so many people play a lot of FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer. And on the other hand, a lot of people play NFL in America. There are so many NFL players in the US, and they're not playing here in Europe. Only few people play it here because they prefer Formula 1 racing or PES or FIFA.
Vi pratar lite här alltså om det här med e-sport. Vad kan kallas e-sport och vad kan man inte göra? Då är de lite inne på här båda två, att det måste vara ganska enkelt att förstå reglerna. Det ska inte vara jätteenkelt att vinna, säger Fredrik här, men det ska vara enkelt att förstå reglerna. Och så är Julia också inne på det här att det måste faktiskt finnas 1 miljon sätt att vinna. Det ska inte bara finnas ett enda sätt som man faktiskt kan vinna det här på. Och sen då när vi pratar om hur, eller rättare sagt vem ska få bestämma vad som egentligen är en e-sporttitel eller inte. Det är egentligen upp till supportrarna. Finns det tillräckligt mycket människor som spelar spelet och som tycker om att titta på spelet, då har den chansen att bli en e-sporttitel. But how often do you think you can change titles from become updates and stuff like that? And how often can you change that?
Well, I always thought of it as, you need a few main games. I mean, there's different kinds of games, so you can't focus on every game. It's like in my show I always say, we need these 3 games to be the main ones, and they say no, we want more games, we want everything. But it's like in a country, or you can call this sport kind of a country, you can't have every sport being the most popular sport. So you have to focus, like in the US it's baseball, it's football, and in Sweden here it's hockey or soccer, or football like we call it. So you have to really focus on these 2 sports to make these the big ones. Then you can always, of course, have a small fan base for the other ones, but I think you need to limit the amount of games to just a few to really focus on that, to bring up this as a sport if you want it to be accepted as a sport.
Would it be bad for the sport to have too many titles?
Well, in ESL at the moment we have 2.1 million users, and they can just log on esl.eu and play whichever game they want. And there we can see who's playing Counterstrike, who's playing FIFA, who's playing Quake, or who's playing StarCraft 2. And if lots and lots of players are playing StarCraft 2, which just came out this year, then you have to also open a pro league. And there were so many players that were pro, and also this tournament here at DreamHack has shown that there can be underdogs suddenly who beat renowned players. And if there are so many good ones, and there are, then you really need a pro league for that to show the games to the audience.
But if you look at it worldwide, you were talking about it needs a base with just some titles. If you look at it worldwide, what kind of titles do you want?
In esports?
In esports.
Well, I mean, I've always been the Counter-Strike person. I mean, I understand now that StarCraft 2 is, I can't stop it myself. It's an epidemic hitting every country. So I'm accepting that now and learning about it. Hopefully, maybe even do my shows about that game too. I'm trying to, but I'm far from an expert. I probably never will be. Who knows? But yeah, I think Counter-Strike for me, I would like to see some sort of Quake-like game, even though Quake, it feels like it's kind of dying, according to me. Also, Counter-Strike is dying there too, but I would like to see Counter-Strike still in the future. StarCraft.
Counter-Strike Source, maybe?
Nah, not Source for me. That's not the same game. And most Counter-Strike players who play 1.6 hate Source. Because even though it's the same rules, it's a totally different experience playing the game, and you have to play it differently. So I think Valve, who made the game, needs to create Counter-Strike 2.0 or something like that. Better graphics, same feeling. So, it attracts more sponsors, because Counter-Strike is an old game. So it was, I think, 99 it came out.
Yeah.
So it's been 11 years. It needs a shape up.
And you have to choose a couple of base game for worldwide.
I came from Quake, so I love to watch Quake live. And just as Slope, I play a lot of StarCraft 2. And as I said, there are so many good players that I like to watch, and it's a huge hype. And I definitely see StarCraft 2 for the next 3 or 4 years or more. And yeah, I think Counter-Strike Source